Welcome to, I think this is episode 77 of Roll or Die. And today we have one of my longest time friends in Jiu-Jitsu, one of my, I guess you could say, mentors, mentored me through white and blue belts back in the early days, all the way from the US of A, Mr. Chris Burns, aka Bones.
Gosh.
Thanks for joining us.
I'm never going to live that one down, am I? But I got a fresh start over here.
Yeah. So tell us about that. So this time last year, I think you were still here in Melbourne, but now whereabouts are you?
As far fucking away from Melbourne as possible. How's Melbourne treating you?
We're still in the same spot we were in this time last year, pretty much. Actually,
Yeah.
maybe even a bit worse, but yeah, we're
Yeah,
still
no.
locked down.
I saw the lockdown got extended.
Yeah, probably indefinitely, you know, that's the way it kind of feels for us. But yeah, so whereabouts are you?
I'm in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. There's no lockdown. There's no nothing. It's
Yeah.
open carry state. Got lots of guns, lots of freedom. It's fantastic.
It sounds like you weren't born in Melbourne, though. Like,
No. I was born in the butthole of America, Florida. So technically, that's the wang of America, but whatever.
Sorry, I missed the where it was. The
Florida.
Florida. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh my
I was
god.
born in Florida, moved to Georgia, so I spent most of my youth in Georgia. So it's a get out of jail free card for being in the South.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And when did you come across to Australia or to Melbourne?
I went to Sydney when I was very young. I can't quite remember when, maybe like 11, for about 3 years. And then I came back for a few more years. And then I went back to Melbourne when I was about 15 or 16 and stayed for roughly like 25 years. So I'm 80 years old. Really do math. But yeah, I was in Sydney for a while, and then I fucked right off over to Melbourne for the rest of my life up until now, Arizona.
Yeah. Awesome.
What's your, like, bring it back to jiu-jitsu? Like, where are you? Are you black belt? Are you teaching?
Is he what? Is he what?
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
for those who don't know you, unlike me, all I know about you is you love necrophilia and have a giant penis. That's what you're telling us leading up to this.
I didn't say anything. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Not a word. I am a black belt under Jason Robig. So first degree professor thing. I'm bad at this. Very informal.
Yeah, you've been doing jiu-jitsu for a very, very long time. Yeah, when did you start? Like, tell us a bit of your beginnings in jiu-jitsu.
I can't remember the dates. It was a long time ago. I started under. Do you remember Wardy, Daniel Ward?
Yep.
Yeah, I started jiu-jitsu by accident. I had no idea what jiu-jitsu was. I was thinking I was going to judo because I wanted to do judo, and then I went to jiu-jitsu thinking that was judo. It's
So
never
good.
stopped. Yeah, it was my bad. I had no fucking idea what I was doing. It turns out nobody else did either. So I went into a jiu-jitsu school and they're like, we don't do takedowns. What are you talking about? That's just a terrible idea. So yeah, I started like 2000 or so. So I actually don't know. I'm not very good with space and time.
That's good.
It's been a while.
I think people who know too much about space and time, they freak me out. Like, it's like I started the 4th, 1999, and it was, I just eaten sushi, and then I find out.
If you tracked me back, you could probably figure it out, but it's way over a decade, closer to 2 decades. It's a long fucking time of injuries.
It is.
Yeah, tell us about some of your injuries.
Oh, come on, you know more than me. Watch me hobbling around with a broken spine.
Yeah,
I took a beating, and I don't think there's anything I haven't injured.
Did you actually break your spine though? Is that real? What the?
Yeah, I got a crack in the vertebrae and spinal stenosis because of tornado guard.
Wow.
Yeah.
So isn't that like 10th planet stuff? Is that
no?
like...
Tornado guard was Cyborg Abreu. And I was obsessed with learning how to invert properly.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, okay.
Dude, we had no instruction whatsoever where we came up. It was like, fucking fight. So I was like watching instructionals. I was like, if he can do it, I can do it. And I could easily invert when I was younger. It was a normal thing. It's like, oh, I'm flexible. And then one day, like crack, and then that little feeling of the fluid coming out of your spine. Have you ever slipped a disc? Okay, so when you slip a disc, it's like this weird fluid feeling, and then your leg goes numb. Or well, when you do like a S1, S2, like near the bottom,
Yeah.
you'll feel it in the sciatic nerve. And my leg went numb, and I was like, "Oh fuck, walk it off, Tiger." And I went walking down the street, and my leg seized up. It like never bent again for 5 years. I hobbled down the street with a sciatic nerve impingement. So don't ever slip a disc. Don't ever do tornado guy. The guy who fucking I learned from DVDs that shit from. He ended up fusing a whole bunch of vertebrae, I think. Fucking, he's a monster though. He can do whatever he wants. I don't want any trouble.
Yeah. So basically, you reckon that like inverting is a one-way ticket? Not necessarily, but you're kind of asking for some spinal troubles. Is that kind of
asking for a punch in the dick? It might be able to work. Like, I started with sport jiu-jitsu and like fucking ran the other way near the end. I was like, that is just useless shit. The only reason sport jiu-jitsu is good in a fight is because the other person's fucking retarded. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Once you hit like white belt to blue belt, that like 6 weeks of retarded, then like, well, yeah, no, you're retarded, I'm retarded. But now I can do something else that's a little bit more retarded. It's all useless under context.
Yeah. So you don't think there's no self-defense kind of I guess I can see what you're saying. Like if you invert in a street fight or something like that, that's definitely asking for a punch.
If you've got 2 feet on the hips, the guy throws the legs across, you do a rollover defense. If you have to go up on your shoulder to do a rollover defense, I think they consider that a Granby roll. That's as far as I'm going. I keep my spine straight, and you can suck a bag of dicks. I'm not doing anything upside down to win shit.
Yeah.
My job is to protect myself. That's why I started doing this shit. And I ended up doing 10 years of the opposite. I was banging my head on a brick wall to get tougher.
You were your own worst enemy.
So you've focused the last sort of 15 years or so, Chris, more on the self-defense side of things, yeah?
Yeah.
So tell us about that. Tell us a bit more about your experience with that, and yeah.
Okay, so back when I was training and teaching at Pete's, I was always more interested in learning how to defend myself and how to fight, like because I was doing MMA at the same time. So I was going off to another place to do MMA, and it turned out every time I went to that class, I would win those fights using jiu-jitsu. So I thought, well, shit, I've got to do this. So I went over there, and I'm still doing sport jiu-jitsu, and I'm still using that to win in MMA fights because they were not the highest of level at the time. I'm sure they're way fucking better these days, but back in our day when we started, you know, they were like circulating VHS tapes from shitty fucking fights in Brazil. We didn't have apps that scrolled through syllabus and shit. We were just winging stuff. But when I was working and teaching at Pete's, it got to the point where I felt like I wasn't doing anything that was useful for fighting, because I got into a fight at one point and the guy just grabbed my hair and started hitting it into the sidewalk. And I'm like, I should be able to Kimura him. I don't know why this is working. Okay. Why isn't half guard working? It's just fucking useless. So I went running for self-defense for jiu-jitsu because I found out that there was a difference around fucking purple. That was great. But I found Henry and Hedon with the CTC for Gracie University. And at the time in Australia, nobody even knew who they were. There was just like a name in the wind. It's like fucking McDojo bullshit. You get a belt in the mail and blah, 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 blah. I started watching those videos and I got bitter automatically. They actually were good. They are still good. I don't personally agree with the style that they teach. And I'm not shitting on them because they're both monsters and they're very good at what they do. I just prefer Hickson's view of things. So it's much more self-defense oriented. It's more for fighting. And there's a bunch of gaps in the syllabus for me that are already kind of filled in through Hickson. But I started doing Gracie University, and it got to the point where I went over to LA and I did the instructor development training course and ran a CTC for them. So like, you can't shit on those guys. If you want to shit on those guys, go take the white belt to blue belt test and film your videos and send it in and tell me if you pass, asshole.
Got it.
Trust me, they have very high standards for their curriculum. I don't particularly like the curriculum, but it still was a pain in my ass to be good at it. I had to score a certain percentage to become an instructor as well. And then you have to go there and you have to be tested to be an instructor. They're not fucking around. It was actually one of the best things that I ever did was go over there and learn how to teach jiu-jitsu properly. So those guys know exactly what's up. And like, I don't even work for them anymore and I'm still giving them the thumbs up.
Yeah.
But I found Hickson through Jason Robig and I never stopped. So that's as close to self-defense as you're going to get, period. Like all jiu-jitsu pales in comparison. And I'm not talking about the SDU and I'm not going to talk about the SDU. I'm just going to stay silent about that one. I really, really appreciate everything that he filmed, but there's so much that was not filmed. There's so much to that stuff that's just not on those videos. It's too much to mention.
That's awesome.
And tell us a bit about your dealings with Hickson. So you are, I guess, pretty close with him. You guys.
Oh yeah, we summer together.
Yeah.
He's just Hickson. He knows my name. That's about it. Like he probably doesn't even fucking know my name. He knows somebody that knows my name. He's very polite and he's very kind to me and puts up with me. That's it. So
have you like competed throughout your journey like a lot? Have you been like I know you're anti-sport jiu-jitsu, but does that mean you didn't compete in this journey?
Oh fuck no, I competed. I definitely competed. The ones I won on submission. And the ones I lost to an advantage point because someone was chest to chest and we ran out of time. Go fuck yourself.
So you've never been stopped in a comp?
No, dude. If I had to fucking scramble for a submission, I'm sure I would have been subbed. But if I had, used distance management to protect myself from a submission and I didn't get submitted, well, I guess I lost. I'm pretty sure that's what jiu-jitsu was predicated on to begin with. But, fuck me. Anyways, I ran out of time. I lost on an advantage. The last fight that I had when I was competing, I won in like 30 seconds. I was like, I'm going to go out on a high note. Goodbye. Done. And then I was going to go into MMA, but I got hit by another car. So fuck that. I'm too old now.
And changing tacks a bit, something maybe people might not know about you, or maybe they do.
Is this the necrophilia thing again?
No. The Thinker Monkey. So you are responsible for that drawing. People may know it. If you do jiu-jitsu, you probably know the tatami Thinker Monkey. So
I'm responsible for a lot of things.
Yeah. Tell us about that. Tell us the background of that story.
That is going to be on my tombstone, apparently. It's I had nothing to do one day, and I drew a picture, and I posted it to Facebook, and the next thing you know, it was everywhere, and I was getting messages from all around asking me to draw stuff for them. Tatami was kind enough to purchase a license to put the stuff out and send commissions and everything. So, yeah, it was okay. It's just shit.
Yeah.
That thing.
That is so cool.
Sorry.
No, that is fucking awesome, man. Seriously.
I was just being a smartass. I had that actual statue on my bookshelf and I was staring at it. And I don't remember why I drew it, but yeah, it lives in infamy.
It's so good. And what's it like in going on that journey, like building something, getting kind of, what is that journey like when you
of being an artist?
Yeah, being an artist and then getting swept up in
very poor. It's like the worst possible journey you can take. It pays about as much as jiu-jitsu. But neither of them are financially sound. But yeah, my heart is full.
Was it a great experience, that whole thing? Like, honestly, because I know you do take the piss out of yourself quite a lot, but was it fun? Was it great?
Not necessarily. No. You see people all over the world kind of wearing it, and it's like, all right. Where's my paycheck?
Jim Carrey said, I think everybody should get rich and famous and get everything they ever dreamed of just so they can see that it's not the answer. And that's how I feel about most things nowadays. It's like, Okay, people think, okay, if I draw this, if this goes worldwide, if this, whatever happens, there's a moment where you think, this is pretty fucking great, and then it's back to life, and it's back to.
There was never a fucking moment. There was a nice moment when I drew I think a Japanese devil getting triangle choked with some flames and some water, and I thought that was nice. I like that. And then Hickson reposted it, and I was like, that's cool. He appreciates that. That's cool, But I went through a phase where people were reposting all of my shit without, because I'm terrible and I didn't put a watermark on anything because I'm like, well, it looks shit with my name over it. But everybody just was stealing my shit and posting it. And to this day, there's this fucking asshole here in Arizona who runs a jiu-jitsu club who's been stealing that artwork for like a decade. And I cannot wait to finally go to that club and roll with him. Like no one's ever really gotten on to him. He's like a survivalist out here, Cody London or some shit. Okay. Just took my shit, traced over it. He's like, I'm a fucking genius.
Whoa, let's call out Cody London or Glungen or whatever you said his name was. Let's get you and him on the show. Yeah.
Let's get me and him on the mat. The fuck, dude? You should be paying me for your fucking money. All the money you're making off of the shit that I did. All right, so there's a line in the sand where if somebody like goes out of their way to trace what I did and draws it their own way, at least you did a little bit of fucking work. Yeah. Like you deserve half the pay on that one. But if you just rip my shit and put your name on it, you're a cunt.
But also, who traces anymore, man? There's a thing called a scanner. Just fucking scan it if you're gonna do that.
Yeah, well, the thing is with all that stuff, people started taking all my things, and I went through a phase where I started writing everything in Japanese kanji and writing it wrong so that when they stole it and published it, they looked like an asshole. So everything said like chicken fried rice. I had one where Facebook was blowing up with that stupid thing like tag a friend who has like an iron dick, like, and you would tag all your friends in this cool post. So I did one with kanji that said like chicken fried rice and said jujitsu soul. Tag a friend who has a jujitsu soul, and it's great because our friend Kit Dale posted it.
Oh my gosh.
Fuck you, man. That was hilarious. And then I republished it and I put it on some shirts, and a whole bunch of students are wearing shirts that say chicken fried rice on it now. That's where I'm at in my art journey.
Tell me about Kit Dale. What's your relationship with Kit Dale like?
I used to be sparring partners. I love him. He's funny as fuck. He's actually a really cool guy.
Yeah, I
just like hanging shit on him because not enough people get to hang shit on him anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
We had a fantastic fucking post one time. I made a thing for him for his seminar that was coming up, and I took an S&M midget's body and I put his face on it, and we had like this whole thing posted. And he's taken all of this stuff down. Yeah. I think we did a picture of a potato and a gym bag and an Andre Galvo DVD, and the three of them put together like this could replace Kit Dale. Like all the funny shit got taken down because he had to be a serious athlete eventually. So.
And a serious actor. Yeah.
Oh, I think he is actually. His brother Scott is a fucking amazing director. I don't know what he's up to these days, but both of them are good guys. Yeah. I like them.
And next up on your journey, you're going to become a father soon. How far away is that? How far?
November 10th.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. How's the journey been so far? Your partner?
Moody. Moody and adorable.
Who's the most moody?
Elisa, you want to come and say hi? No, said the moody
Not
one.
now.
No, it's a huge change in my life, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
very much.
And so is Tornado Guard the first thing your child's going to learn, or
first thing my kid's getting is a fucking knife?
This is
learn how to knife fight.
Tornado Guard.
In a heartbeat, that child is going to be a bad motherfucker.
Oh, look at that!
You just happen to have one handy.
Just have one handy.
Sorry, you're in Arkansas. That's right.
It's like my bedroom, man. I love that stuff.
The kid's room has a crossbow and a shotgun in it right now.
I love America, man.
I do too. I forgot how much I loved it until Australia became what it is now, or at least Melbourne. I don't know what everything else is like. It's a shit show. I got out while the getting was good, and it turned out to be a very good decision because my
Yeah.
business got ruined. It was fucked.
Yeah.
So and there's so many people over there that are sole traders because of jiu-jitsu, and like, you know, personal trainers, sole traders. Our friends Dion and Jody, like, fuck
Yeah.
me, man. This is how they live.
Perkins.
I'm
yes.
sorry, you don't get
Yeah.
to live anymore. We'll give you a pittance. You know,
Yeah.
you can survive on what we give you, but
Yeah.
you know, goodbye to
Yeah.
your business.
It
Goodbye
doesn't
to
even
all
really
those
work.
years of-
It's like it's not even the pittance is exactly what it is, because it's like it's nowhere near what is required. It's basically
Dude, I blew through my fucking savings like within, I think, a year. And I was doing online teaching, and some of my students joined up and they kept paying. They kind of kept me alive and shit. But yeah, the job offer over here, I came running. I didn't think things were going to get good anytime soon, and the opportunity was too good to pass up. So I definitely.
So how does America do this? I mean, how are you guys coping with, like, I know that just because you're treating life like there's nothing going on, but I know that there's still a lot of infections and a lot of deaths.
Oh, of course.
How do you deal
Everyone's
with
kind of dealing with it their own way. I got vaccinated right away, the second I could, you know, just in case, because I wanted better reception on my phone. It's just fucking retarded.
How's that
that
going?
anyone's.
Yeah, you get an
Actually
extra
pretty
how
good
many extra
reception.
bars? Yeah.
I'm all right. I got 5 bars. It's all good. I'm impervious to everything now. I will never die.
Uh,
I don't know, man. I didn't like being told to do it. That's just me. I don't like being told to do something. So I automatically balked at the idea of mandatory vaccination. But when you think about it, like, why not? You know, how many vaccinations did you have to get into kindergarten?
yeah.
You know, some of these things are actually useful. And I have a close friend who works in this business. And the reason that shit went through so fast is because the government actually gave funding to them. So, you know, the people that are freaking out, I've got friends on both sides of the fence on this one. I don't like being told what to do, but I also don't want to get COVID. So,
Yeah.
It's not like it's going to fucking stop me. If I get it, I get it. Whatever.
Yeah. I think, Chris, the last time I saw you in person was at the Australian Girls in Gi camp in January 2020. And you
Sorry.
gave Kirsty Mather her black belt.
I
So
did,
yeah,
yes.
just for our
Wow.
listeners, the Australian Girls in Gi camp is, well, previously pre-COVID was an annual event that Jess Fraser organised with, I can't remember how many hundred girls and women, females that would come along. So it was actually a really special moment for this number of women to see a female receive her black belt. So, because just quietly, it is a pretty difficult thing to get a black belt, especially as a female. So, yeah, can you tell us a little bit about that? at all,
Before
Chris?
you
Not for
do, it's
Kirsty.
called Australian Girls in Gi, Chris. What the fuck, man? But sorry.
What did I do? Get girl in gi? I don't know. Is
He
it
just
girl?
stayed for the presentation and then he left. He didn't stay
Okay,
for the
okay.
whole camp. So,
Fair
yeah.
Oh yeah, my bad. I was like one of 3 guys on that island. I was waiting to be lynched. Yeah. Plus, I'm a fucking terrible human. Like every time I open my mouth, people regret talking to me. So putting me on an island filled with women that are smart and doing jujitsu, the second I opened my mouth, I thought I was gonna get lynched. So, Kirsty is a bad motherfucker. That's why she has a black belt with my name on it. You roll with her. So, it was an honor. It was an honor to be invited to that, and it was Jess's idea to have me come out there because technically I'm not supposed to give black belts under my lineage. You have to have 2 stripes, but I have this weird dog's breakfast of how I got to black belt / other black belt / other black belt, like multiple fucking black belts. So, and time wise, I'm supposed to be a 2nd degree, but I'm a 1st degree because of this degree, and I don't know. I wasn't keeping track, and I still fucking don't care. I'm just honored that the guy that gave me my black belt gave it to me. And then the other guy that gave me my black belt gave it to me, and so on and so forth. So technically I wasn't supposed to award the black belt, but then when I asked permission, everyone that I asked was like, yes, if you're giving it, because I don't fucking give belts. Like it took Max 7 years to get his blue. It's something like 7 years for a blue belt. Like I'm notoriously shifty about that shit. So you have to suffer for me.
Like my coach.
And Kirsty has definitely suffered.
Absolutely, that's great. That's great. Yeah, she is a weapon. She's an absolute weapon.
Fuck yeah, she is.
What's that like? I'm like, when you say you've been awarded multiple black belts, basically, like, yeah, let me get rid of that.
Man, that story's long and weird.
Okay.
But,
Well,
That's fine.
I
We got
remember-
time. We got time.
I remember telling that story to Hedon when we were at the dinner, and he was like, dude, there's nobody that has a clean black belt story. Like, you're either in a family and get to your black belt, or there's drama.
Yeah.
A million kinds of drama. With me, it's the drama I'll leave out because I don't necessarily want to talk about it.
Good.
But the good stuff that came from it was that one of my students, like, I stopped wearing a belt. I just started wearing a white belt. It was like one big fuck you to everybody. And then I would have higher belts coming to train with me and do private lessons. This is back in the day, like Kim knows, back in the day, I would have black belts doing private lessons with me when I was a purple belt. Because I was actually teaching things that I was learning. It wasn't just a fight club and just winging it. So I was studying because I had nothing else to do with my life. So I would study the living shit out of stuff and break myself learning it and making sure that it's actually a good thing before I teach it. You know, that's what an instructor should do. Turns out, no, you're supposed to have someone who already did that teach you that. And that's where this hierarchy comes from. But for me, I was a lower belt teaching higher belts for a long time. And then when I left the club, I went around to other clubs to try and pick which one I was going to go to. And I wasn't learning anything, and I was still doing really well on those mats. And I hated sport jiu-jitsu, like fucking hated it by the end. So the best places for me to train were sport places. So I was like, fuck a bunch of this. I'm just going to do my own thing, start my own place, and I'm just not going to wear a belt. I got this. One of my black belt students awarded me my black belt one day because I was training with another black belt that was in town for the UFC, and he was complaining about me not wearing a black belt. So that's how I got my black belt, was black belts complaining about me not having a black belt.
Wow.
So I got my black belt fucking fair few years ago. And then I started another club, and the club that I was at, I wanted to demote myself, not to shit on the man who gave me my first black belt, but because I wanted to earn a black belt under the Hickson lineage. Like, I'm fucking anal about that. I really want that. So I re-earned it while wearing my black belt, and I was awarded my professor's stripes in self-defense. So that in the JJGF, the stripes on the bar don't mean I'm an instructor. They mean I know how to instruct self-defense. So normally in the other places, you get the white stripes on the bar means I'm an instructor, period. Under that one, it's a red bar means I'm an instructor. So I got my professor's stripes, and then 3 years later, I was awarded my first stripe. So yeah, and then there's the judo belt, and then the other shit that I went through. But it's just politics. That's all it is. Belt schmelt. Give a fuck about that. I wanted to have it out of respect for the lineage that I'm in. You know, I felt good wearing that belt with the kanji on it. It's like it's Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, not just like black belt from Fuji. You know, $20, the cheapest one I could get. I got it on eBay. Oh, black belt. No, man.
About that Fuji black belt you've got that now.
Is that your brand? Is that what you wear? My bad. Corral black belt. I don't know. Whatever's the cheapest fucking black belt.
Yeah.
Give a fuck. It's just a belt.
But I guess it is that is it the Gracie quote about it's just the 2 inches that cover your ass. You've got to cover it yourself.
You've got to cover the rest of your ass yourself, man.
Yeah.
Like, half of the time when I'm rolling or I'm fighting, I'm not wearing a belt anyways. Doesn't matter. You know?
That's it.
It's just a fucking belt. It's a signifier of time, but it's also a signifier of bullshit. Like, if I see a black belt that's not a black belt wearing a black belt, I mean, it's not a thing. It's just a piece of cloth.
I've never understood that. Like, I don't know. For me, every time I was promoted to a belt, I actually kind of felt like I didn't really deserve it. So I don't understand that thought process of why you would want to pretend to be a belt higher than what your ability actually is.
Dude, there's
so much in jiu-jitsu is being humbled, you know? Like, why would you want to be humbled even more?
I don't know, because like maybe you're in a place where you can lie, you know, because if you're in a room full of white belts and you can do an arm bar, you're a black belt. Like, you remember those stories about like a purple belt that would come into town back in the fucking 90s, like, oh my God, he's a fucking purple belt.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah. Like, there's a huge fucking difference.
Yeah,
you know?
but that was 20 years ago. So now, like,
nowadays, the thing is, there's the difference. you've got a room full of white belts, and if somebody can go and do an inverted heel hook from Ashigarami, whatever, they look like a fucking black belt. But you put that fucking inverted heel hooking guy into a Vale Tudo match, all of a sudden that's a very lower belt, because they concentrated on one specific technique for a very long time and didn't worry about getting elbowed in the bridge of the nose. So it's a very contentious point with me, because I remember somebody sending me a thing about American Jiu-Jitsu. Have you heard about that?
A little bit, but like I've had people say they're an American.
Yeah, all right, so they're referring to, I don't know who it is. It's the Down Here Death Squad. Some of them maybe are calling it American Jiu-Jitsu now instead of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I'm fine with that. That's like a completely different thing than what I'm concentrating on in my path. Like I genuinely am more concerned with Rickson Gracie Jiu-Jitsu than I am with anything to do with American Jiu-Jitsu. Where it's we're wearing tights, the gi is old fashioned. I want to do this, and this. And we have these kind of time limits, and we're going to get resets from certain positions when the time runs out. I'm like, cool, man, you do you. Have fun. I'm going to worry about that guy with a knife. I'm going to continue on the actual martial arts path. And I know that they both verge. I know they do. And it's fucking awesome to watch, especially when you see guys like Gordon Ryan. You see him competing. Fuck yeah, dude. That's amazing. That's fucking cool. It's just not what I'm into right now. Maybe one day I'm going to veer back into that path. But for now, it's a very different art in my world. Like, I'm not that concerned about that. I'm way more concerned about finding my base. I'm way more concerned about being able to get to my firearm. That's more important to me.
Create a frame, draw, and shoot.
Yeah, you would think that. There's a lot of layers on that one.
Cool, got it.
I was having a roll with another black belt who's old school Rickson Gracie style. And he's adamantly like yelling. Before we even rolled, he was complaining about how leg locks are not a thing. He's grabbed my leg. So I grabbed his leg and he reaches in his pants to draw an imaginary gun. Like, haha. I'm like, where's your gun, dude? It's over there. It's in the other room. You don't have it. You gotta worry about your context right now, because I am gonna leg lock you. Then you're gonna have to hop over to your gun.
Bulletproof vest on. Yeah.
Oh no, that was great. We actually put on body armor to grapple at one point, because I've been working with police and military.
Wow.
Wearing never mind. That shit is hard. So that's a whole nother version of judo. You get some good grips on that shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wow.
I think we're just about out of time. That's probably as good a place as any to finish up.
I don't feel like I've complained about sport jiu-jitsu enough.
Okay,
You've got 2 more minutes. Did you want to have another?
I don't like sport jiu-jitsu. It's fine. I just like shitting on it. I know that it exists and it has to be there, but that's the same as broccoli. That doesn't mean I have to fucking like it.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's there and I know it's good for me.
Sports jiu-jitsu and broccoli, I can see some new piece of art for you, bro.
Yeah, I can see some new shit people are stealing and posting on their page, printing their own rash guards. I can see that.
Chicken fried rice. Yeah.
Very good.
It's just the end of my podcast. Everyone's an asshole. Leave me alone. I like my guns. Arizona's fantastic.
Very good. All right. Well, that's about it. Like I said, we're almost out of time, but thank you so much, Chris, for giving up your time for us. It was very entertaining. Hopefully our viewers and our listeners will find it the same. But yeah, if you can share this at all with your network, that would be great to help grow our audience. We are growing. We have YouTube, we have Spotify, Instagram.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of stuff. So yeah, like I said, we're up to 77 now. We've been doing this for nearly 2 years. So thank you so much for being a part of it. So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Chris,
and from one end of the world to the other, hopefully we can be in touch.
Thank you very much for inviting me. I apologize for everything I said.
All good.
For you guys. Everyone else can suck my dick.
Peace out.
All right.
Catch you later.
It's a pleasure.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.